Hey, friend, listen. I know the world is scary right now, but it's gonna get way worse. I sure wish that was just a meme. It's Sunday. I'm Akorn. Welcome back to Laugh While the World Burns, where we stream the chaos like it's Saturday morning cartoons. So let's get started. Taco Bell is re-evaluating AI drive-thru technology after someone ordered 18,000 cups of water. Well, if you're going to put a system like that in place, then you should also realize that people's going to test it in every way possible, just to see what happens. Girl demands creation of Palestinian state so it can be destroyed by climate change in 6 years. The media estimating the crowd size at London Unite the Kingdom rally.
How many do you think there are?
10.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The media always downplays things like this. Wild video shows huge mob storming California jewelry store in $1 million raid. Video shows a huge mob of masked, black-clad thieves storming a California jewelry store and making off with around $1 million in merchandise in just over a minute. This just happened yesterday, and the latest info I saw, I think they said now that there was 25 people. They've apparently made a few arrests, after which they were probably released a few hours later. But regardless, they pretty much just came in, smashed everything, and took what they wanted. Here's one of the clips from the news.
This is the moment more than 20 masked and hooded people stormed into Heller Jewelers in broad daylight Monday. Some of them armed with guns, others with crowbars. Police say the mob then helped themselves to $1 million worth of fine jewelry.
When they went in, they basically took over the store. They went to all the jewelry display cases and began just smashing the display cases at will, using the crowbars and the pickaxes, and basically taking whatever jewelry was available.
When the store door closed behind them, police say it automatically locked, trapping the group inside. A witness captured the robbers firing shots to escape.
It was a very dangerous situation. They did fire multiple rounds through the door, which caused the door to shatter, and they were able to then push the glass out and exit.
Drone footage captured the suspects getting into their cars and speeding away. Police say choppers followed them. Officers arrested 3 men and a 17-year-old on International Boulevard in Oakland, and arrested 3 others at the Dublin BART station.
The biggest concern was not seeing just 1 or 2 or 3 people, but like 20 people being involved in something like this.
Michael and Joyce Comer just bought their wedding rings at Heller. They were hoping to get them cleaned today, but the store was closed. They are appalled at what happened.
Something really tragic could have happened, worse than stealing jewelry yesterday.
Police say they're still looking for at least 17 suspects. They say detectives are working around the clock to find them. In San Ramon, Jody Hernandez, NBC Bay Area News.
As things continue to get worse across the U.S., we're going to see more and more of this, and it's only going to get worse. When I make a joke to the wrong person, and now I have to listen to a lecture on human rights, racism, and homophobia. Like heck, I'm going to listen to a lecture from somebody like that. I'll tell them some few simple facts, and then I'll turn around and leave. A new sign at the local driving range. We do not allow Happy Gilmore swings. We have had 2 knee dislocations recently, so if you are seen, you will be asked to leave. How does somebody dislocate their knee playing golf? I don't care what kind of swing you do. Did they hit themselves with a golf club or what? They're American people waiting for just one politician to be held accountable for literally anything. Even if they ever do, it'll just be for show at this point. Who thought it was a good idea to put a cowhide rug here? Not only is a cowhide rug kind of expensive, but I don't know why you would put any rug there, let alone one that looked like that. When he was growing up, everybody laughed when Jimmy Kimmel said he wanted to be a comedian. Nobody's laughing now. No, they're certainly not. He was never funny in the first place. I quit watching any of the late night shows after Jay Leno retired. Do you guys remember this back from some months ago? Woman sentenced in wild Graceland foreclosure fraud. Memphis, Tennessee, the woman accused of a fraudulent foreclosure scheme involving Elvis Presley's Graceland mansion was sentenced Tuesday in a federal court in Memphis. Lisa Janine Findlay was sentenced to 57 months in prison, with 3 years of supervised release. She also has to have mental health counseling and can't open lines of credit without probation approval. Imagine, if you will, a country where people defend those celebrating murder as free speech. Yeah, but saying anything about them is racism, hate speech, terrorism, and anything else you can think of. Taylor Swift walking down the aisle at her wedding. Department of Education lays off nearly 50% of its workforce, half of what I'd hoped for. Don't worry, not only will they probably get hired back, but they'll probably hire a bunch more on top of that. Speaking of which, the Trump administration rehires hundreds of federal employees laid off by Dodge. A lot of good to that done, but it's not surprising. Nobody blamed the lightsaber. No, they didn't. They also don't blame cars, knives, hammers, various yard tools, ropes, buildings, or anything else that people use to kill someone. There's only one tool that they blame, which just so happens to be the same tool that law-abiding citizens most often use to stop the criminals.
I was born a man, but I identify as a woman. Who are you to judge?
I identify as a judge. I'd like to learn a trade and know how to do taxes.
America is evil, and some men have periods.
Air Jimmy Show or Draw 25. Sinclair Broadcast Group. Yeah, they were one of them that when ABC said that they were bringing Jimmy Kimmel Live back, Sinclair and I think another company both said that they would no longer be carrying the show. I think one of them said that they would be airing relevant news instead. In 1997, the Brits let the government take away all their... Now they get arrested for memes and Facebook posts. In nature, poisonous creatures will often develop bright colors to warn others of their toxicity. At least the warning's clearly labeled. Here's a video of what's supposed to be a grown adult woman who is basically throwing a temper tantrum in the floor of this store and then starts chasing and threatening the person with the camera.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself. Can you please stop recording? Yeah. This crazy lady. Because she attacked me and try to say I attacked her. You cut. Look. Get away from me! Oh, y'all better get this lady! Get away from me! You got. You look at this. Get security! Get this woman! Security! Look at this! Yes, can y'all get her away from me? Get her away from me! Lord have mercy! Get her away from me! Get her away from me! No, I gotta just protect myself. She's trying to attack me. No, no, no.
This is just yet another good example of what happens when you don't correct a child growing up. when they get older and are supposed to be an adult, they still think that screaming and throwing a temper tantrum and threatening people is gonna get them what they want. Because that's exactly what they done when they were kids, and they were given everything they wanted. So of course they're gonna continue to be that way and get a lot worse as they get older. When you dim so hard that you support segregation again. Actually, they have supported segregation, literally. Back on some of the earlier episodes of this series, I had a video of just one example of it, where they literally had an area with a sign that said no whites allowed. Uber facts. In the UK, you can get a signed birthday card from the Queen on your 100th birthday. And when you turn 30, you get a text from Prince Andrew. And the thing is, everyone knows all about this. Is anything ever going to happen? Of course not. Cardi B makes music for girls who say, "My kids are my world," when their grandmother has custody. That sounds about right, actually. FBI warns new scam involves getting a job and working 40 hours a week. The Eastern District of Virginia to indict former FBI Director James Comey and is preparing to charge New York Attorney General Letitia James with mortgage fraud. 3 sources tell MSNBC. They'll just say that they're being targeted for political reasons. Meghan Markle opening her inheritance from the Queen's will. I doubt that we'll ever hear about it, but it could be. It's important that we continue to mock the people who thought this was a good idea. Well, this is bad, but it's not as bad as the last meme. I told you I didn't want the peanuts, Karen. Give me the walnuts. An aggressive squirrel seeking food has sent at least 2 people to the ER in California City. Never underestimate a squirrel. Moment police arrest autistic man in middle of the night for posting F Hamas, F Islam on social media. British police officers has been accused of acting like the Stasi of East Germany after they arrested a man last night over a social media post. Pete North was arrested at around 9:30 p.m. at his home in East Wold for a public order offense after he shared a meme on August 5th on X which read, F Hamas, F Palestine, F Islam. Want a protest? F off to a Muslim country and protest. The activist, who has autism and Tourette's, shared the exchange on his social media page where it quickly gathered more than 800,000 views. The clip shows 2 North Yorkshire officers confronting Pete and his wife as a hate team. That's the title given to all the officers that go out and arrest people for stuff they post on the internet. Have concluded that there are offenses that we need to explore before going on to say there are concerns he is spreading racial hatred. It's only going to get worse. Only a short time before we start seeing this happen across all the Western nations, including right here in the US. Don't think it can happen here? Ask the people that's over in the UK if they thought that that would happen there before it did. What in the world did somebody do to get blocked by NATO on Twitter? I can only imagine. When you're trying to save the environment, but you ain't got 60 grand for a Tesla. It is an electric vehicle. Hope your battery don't run out. You might get a ticket for going too slow, though. Travis and Taylor Kelsey in 2040. I'm offended by how you're offended by how easily I'm offended when anybody says anything I find offending. And if you aren't offended by that, then I'm offended by your total lack of compassion. I came across this video clip today, guys. How many of you knew that French President Macron was stopped by police in New York and prevented from going to the French embassy because of Trump's motorcade? Macron actually called Trump on his cell phone.
Who's this? How many people?
No, I have 10 people with me.
I go to the French embassy.
I know. I'm sorry, I'm president. I'm really sorry. It's just that everything's in frozen right now. There's a motorcade coming late. That's why. I'm sorry.
If you don't see it, let me cross. I negotiate with you. How are you? Guess what? I'm waiting in the street because everything is frozen for you.
Are you sorry? That's because I was good thing you
I don't know, it's still 3 or 4 in the afternoon. But I would love if we can. Yeah, I know, I will follow. But you know, after I would love if we can have a short discussion with Qatar and you on the situation in Gaza because we were.
Here's a do-it-yourself fix for gun owners who are afraid their gun is going to magically come to life and go on a killing spree. Put a choke collar on it as shown, and attach the collar to the leash, and now attach the other end of the leash to a leg of your bed. If it shakes the bed, you can get it stopped before it gets away. Pam Bondi confirms Epstein files raptured. The files are with Jesus now. Why are you so far right politically? I'm just a normal person from 1995. Very, very true. Movies in 2026. It's probably true. The only thing that they seem to make these days is either prequels, sequels, spin-offs, reboots, and etc. Apparently nobody has enough creative skill left to actually make a new movie that's any count, that's even worth the time it takes to watch it. Drinking water, but not suitable for European stomach. That moment when you realize you will never have to work again. Yeah, this must have been what replaced the so-called American dream for the last 30 years or so. When a man washes the dishes. And what's wrong with that? It all fit, it just has to stay there until it's dry. Meanwhile, inside the fridge. Yeah, keep making the memes, guys. They're just about the only way to keep people from forgetting about all of this stuff. Well played, Canada. If this was another country, we'd have to tell you that this coffee may be hot. Good thing this is Canada. You're not wrong, but you guys don't have anything to brag about either. This here must be some Gen Z office hours, guys. We're open most days around 9 or 10, occasionally as early as 7, but some days as late as noon or 1. We close around 4 or 5, but sometimes as late as 11 or 12. Some days or afternoons we aren't here at all. And lately, I've been here just about all the time, except when I'm someplace else. But I should be here then, too. I hope this is just a joke or something, guys. But you want to know the worst part? If you look closely, this paper's actually been laminated before being taped to the door. Hey, whatever gets the job done. Yet another example of so-called modern art, guys. Artist Roman Signer activates his sand bucket sculpture. I don't mean to get political, but Taylor Swift never had a successful relationship under the Biden administration. Yeah, I agree 1,000%. Just in, Venmo and PayPal users can now send money to the U.S. government to help pay down the $37.5 trillion national debt. Yeah, I think this last time it increased $1.3 trillion. I believe it was only about 76 days. Laugh all you want, but the Italian Navy sneaks up on them every time. Yeah, all these script writers know exactly how to word things in order to push the agenda. Sylvia Sidney, born 1910. Look, I survived the Great Depression and the Nazis. Do you think I care about your TikTok feelings? I just want good blue jeans. Food trucks used to sell you 3 of the best tacos you've ever had in your life for only $5. And then people with master's degrees started buying them, and now it's 3 of the worst tacos you've had in your life for $18.50 plus a recommended 20% tip. Yeah, that pretty much sums up how things have went. That epic moment The Rock and Dwayne Johnson finally met. Well, it's about time. People's been wanting to see this for years. And yes, guys, I'm being sarcastic. I know they're the same guy. I have to clarify that because on past shows, either my sarcasm just wasn't on point, or people just didn't get the joke. This right here is just yet another good example of where we're at in this country. The divide and conquer strategy has never changed, guys. And over the last 50 plus years, their agenda has brought us to this point that we're at today, when the country is so polarized that they absolutely hate each other, which has all been brought about by design. I probably shouldn't even say this, and right now I don't know if I'll leave it in the video. But if you go online and search for a PDF that is titled The 10 Stages of Genocide, it's by a guy named Gregory Stanton, and it's from the Genocide Education Project. I know a lot of people on the right are very angry right now, and many people will love if the military is sent into these cities to start with, which is already happening, but that is only going to greatly escalate as we move forward. Likely that some laws will get passed and other things. But something to remember is that anger can blind you. And there is so many people today that is so angry at the left and want to see retaliation that they'll basically support anything that they think will lead to that end. However, as I've briefly mentioned on a past show, that once these doors are open, such as the military being used to police U.S. citizens, regardless of their affiliations, and that's just one small aspect out of all the things that's taking place and what they're going to do. But we'll just use that as the example. What do you think's going to happen when they put the left back in? Who do you think the left is going to label as being the criminals and the terrorists and other? And if they're criminals and terrorists, who are they going to send after them? Once a door is open, guys, anyone can use it. Things to think about. Today was ranch day at their high school. Failed successfully? I don't know. They must have been from California. If you're having a bad day, just remember, Kamala Harris could be your president right now. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. They certainly could put her in next time. Don't forget the Simpsons prediction. Gang violence has to stop. Yeah, poor old dog. Can't have a moment's peace. Squirrel drops nut. Looks absolutely devastated. One of the worst things to ever happen to a squirrel has happened. And I'll end today's show with this question. If the U.S. was split like this, and each side had to fight with just their bare hands, who's winning? I'd have to choose the southeast quarter. Who do you guys think would win? Drop it down in the comments, and then send this video to your family and friends and ask them who they think would win. And if you've watched the video this far, please consider hitting that like and subscribe, as it would be greatly appreciated. Also, for all of you who are already subscribed to the channel, you might want to look down below and make sure you're still subscribed. Also, for all those who are not getting notifications, make sure that you have the bell checked and all notifications selected. So that's why you're not getting your notifications of when the new videos drop. But that brings us to the end of today's show, and I'll see you guys back here on tomorrow's show. Until then, I thank you guys for watching. You all take care and stay safe this week. This is Akorn, over and out.
And why did you park here?
Because that sign says fine for parking.